Today we're talking about the Isha Yoga Center and what it's like to be there. I've been in the Isha Yoga Center for 2 whole days, and Abel here, my friend, has been in the Isha Yoga Center for a while. And Garrett has never been to the Isha Yoga Center, but he's seen Sadhguru in person. We've all
been
seen...
initiated by Sadhguru, met Sadhguru, saw his presence. I have an interesting story as well.
Have you seen Sadhguru?
No.
So 2 of us have been in the Isha Yoga Center, 2 of us have seen Sadhguru, and all of us are super amazing gentlemen, human beings. So... God damn it, why did I say that? So what is it like? Give me some first impressions of being in the Isha Yoga Center, Abel. What happened?
Well, the day that I arrived in Coimbatore was pretty chill. I took a cab with my friend and I was already feeling the energy from the fucking airport on the way to the Isha Yoga Center. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be crazy. And we arrived, everything, and we arrived like pretty late. But I went to the Bhiksha hall, that's where you eat food. And I ate some nice food, and I think I went to bed pretty fast. But yeah, the first days, I was really scared to go actually in the Dhyanalinga. I felt like, I don't know, I was somewhat intimidated by it. But then I went into it and I was just blown away. I was actually just blown away from the place. Everybody's so friendly, the food is amazing, and the energies are extremely transformative. It's really, really potent.
And Garrett, tell us your experience with Sadhguru. What did you feel like when you saw him first?
Basically, I was getting initiation in LA, in person with Sadhguru. It was a very big hall. There was it could have been at least 1,000 people. And I remember even just the energy stepping into that place, you could feel the vibration. And I remember when Sadhguru walked on the stage, it was like everything just like became quieter and everything kind of quieted down. And it wasn't that the actual room became quieter, but just the energy. It was like there was some sort of change that occurred with the energy. And I remember getting initiation, going through the whole process. And I remember at the end, everybody was so energized, and we were all standing in this hall instead of sitting at this time. We were all standing here, and Sadhguru was walking out onto the stage. And it was like he really had an aura, because in like a perfect circle, in like a perfect orb, it was like people were drawn to him, and people who were outside of this aura kind of stayed on the outskirts and were just standing there. They were not affected by this aura, by this like sphere that was around him, and anyone who was in that sphere rushed towards the center and was like surrounding him. So it was like he had some sort of magnetic kind of effect, which was really interesting. So definitely he has a very powerful aura, for sure. There's no doubt about that. And when he speaks and everything, he has that energy and that vibration to him. There's no 2 ways about it. So that's my experience with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like Sadhguru, desperately, definitely. And I'm working towards that. I'm pretty sure everybody here is working towards that too, to embody Sadhguru's qualities in some way. And I've also seen Sadhguru back in 2019. I've seen him once more after that, but I've seen him 2 times more after that. But in 2019, when I first saw him, I definitely saw his aura too. And it was the color of his profile picture on YouTube, this kind of brownish energy. And that guy is very powerful, very potent for sure. Sadhguru is what's known as a chakreshwara, which means someone who has mastery over the 7 chakras. That is a skill that I want to attain as well, and I am downloading or working hard to attain that level of mastery too. So I want to ask Abel here, what made him go to the Isha Yoga Center? Did I have an influence in that?
I remember when I was having some colds with you, I think you were recommending me to go, but also after Shambhavi initiation, it was pretty clear for me that I want to go, and I was like, I have to go. There was like this need to go, and it was very big. So I went like half a year after I got initiated. I booked a flight and I went with a friend of mine that has already been a few times. And yes, you did also play a role for sure.
It's evident that there are teachers who come like that over the thousands of years. You know, there's Adi Shankara, there's Shiva, there's Vishnu, there's Jesus, there's Buddha. So there's different incarnations that come over time. I think that I can't remember the name of this system, but there's the Baha'i faith, yeah. They believe that there's been all these reincarnations and that there's this most recent one, and there's lots of different interesting systems across the world and different teachers and different philosophies supporting those teachers. There's another teacher who I subscribed to, his name was Sri Sri Anandamurti, who's another great teacher who came pretty recently. But Sadhguru definitely is at that caliber, and there's no one probably alive right now, I would say, who is really at that caliber which he is at in spreading his teachings. And yeah, it's definitely a very powerful presence, very powerful aura that he emits.
I don't think anybody is as competent as Sadhguru, and what a blessing it is to be alive in the time of that great man. And seeing him in person was also a fantastic blessing. Actually witnessing, having him be in contact with my eyes. I've seen him 3 times. One in 2019 when I was initiated by him. Second time was when I was in Sydney, Australia, and he did the first Soak in Ecstasy of Enlightenment program. I saw him then. And third time was in the Isha Yoga Center. He just drove by on his car, actually, inside of his car, and I saw him there. And that was fantastic. And the third time that I saw him, I was sitting at the Yogeshwara Linga, meditating there. And the attendant that was taking care of the linga and making sure everything is proper and safe, he gestured to me, because I was there pretty much every day and I was very intensely focused and meditative. He kind of did this gesture, like pointing to the beard. And I thought, what? Do I have something in my beard? And then he did it again, like I just was taken back. I didn't understand what he was saying. So I closed my eyes, and then it suddenly hit me. Does he mean like big beard Sadhguru over there? And the second that that thought came into my head, I turned around, I went outside, and I saw SUV driving, and Sadhguru was just doing the prayer hands to people. And I saw him, and I saw his energy. And his energy was like the linga that I was just sitting next to, like this gigantic circle, or ellipsoid, like an egg type of energy, and very heavy, but in a good way. So that was a huge blessing. So I'm glad that I've seen that man 3 times.
How do you think that you can develop that within yourself? I mean, that he's at a certain level. He's a
Chakreshwara, yeah. Whatever, chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yeah. How do you develop that within yourself? Well, he developed that by meditating intensely, but also being in the Valangiri mountain. That mountain is an energized space, so powerfully energized by Shiva. And you simply sitting there, if you sit there for enough time and you just have basic awareness, this energy will absorb into you, and your life can be transformed very easily and very quickly. So that's how you do it. You be in consecrated spaces.
In some of my teachings that I've understood, there's certain places where people have meditated, and they're called tantra pithas. It's where like a very energized space, and in certain meditation halls that I've been in, I would go in and I would do sastang pranam, and then I would feel in my head, like in my brain, this zzz, like right when I would do that, and I would feel the energy, and then it would go zzz, and you'd feel it, especially certainly in those certain spaces, particularly if I do that, then you can really feel that energy. So it's definitely real that spaces can have that energy. And also I think Sadhguru's explained that people are something that you can consecrate to the highest degree, that you can really consecrate a person. I think Shambhavi, he's explained, is one of those practices that can do that.
Yes.
So
yes.
Just back to how you become a chakreshwara, I don't know how to say it. But I think how he became is also through his guru. What I heard, he touched him with a stick, and then everything what he could know or what you can know, he knew in a moment. So I don't know if it's through that, but I guess through a certain openness to the universe, it can flow into you. So I think it's about creating openness to let actually these stuff sink into you or touch you in certain ways. And actually what I wanted to mention is I never went to the Yogeshwara Linga and meditate. I just looked at it, but I was in Dhyanalinga and Linga Bhairavi. That was and the Surya Kund. They are very potent, but I actually regretted that I didn't go to the Yogeshwara Linga, because that seems like also a very potent linga. But Dhyanalinga is probably the most potent, but Sadhguru says that, well, not everybody has experiences in Dhyanalinga. Most of the people just get like a little dreamy and heavy, in a way, not even heavy, but like nearly tired. But I had some very intense experiences, but also not many. A lot of the time it was just like dreaminess. So yeah, it takes maybe a certain competence or a certain skill or openness in Dhyanalinga to receive something compared to other temples.
My experience in the Dhyanalinga was fairly simple, actually. I sat down, the instructions were to look at it for 2 minutes. I'm glad that those instructions were there. And then close your eyes and meditate. When I was looking at it, it was like a powerful being. And the energy around the space was, you can almost touch it. And it was just crackling with energy. Very easy to meditate there. And now as we're talking about this Dhyanalinga, I'm reflecting back on what this structure actually is. It is a perfect geometrical energetic shape. It is perfect energetic geometry. And that's very hard to create. You can create it on a small scale, but this is all the possibilities inside of a human body or a human system is made to perfect geometry.
So how do you compare, like, for example, the Valangri Mountains to Dhyanalinga, to maybe some other consecrated spaces? Maybe there's some subtle differences, or maybe they're more similar than not?
Well, the Valangri mountain is a whole mountain that's been energized. And the Dhyanalinga is like a little toy at the bottom of the mountain. The toy is extremely powerful when you're in its presence, but still, comparatively speaking, it's of small significance. Yet still, maybe the most powerful thing that a human being has created up until now is the Dhyanalinga. But the Valangri mountain is something entirely different. It's been made by not a human being, or something totally different. And the Valangri mountain compared to Kailash is also of a smaller scale. Kailash is like the ultimate abode. It is just, you enter into a new vortex, you enter into a totally different realm of energy when you go to Kailash. And that's an experience that I wish for all of us here. So I guess the next thing we should talk about is Shambhavi Mahamudra. We've all been initiated into Shambhavi Mahamudra, which is a very good thing. And I've recently started up this practice again. It's been approximately 1 week since I've done it daily. And it's a great energy practice. Lots of calmness has been gained in my body. And my brain, my pineal gland feels soothed, or there's a kind of soothing sensation. It's very nice. I feel like my brain is releasing the right chemicals, and it makes me feel very peaceful and very blissful. So those are the benefits that I get. I'm curious about what you guys think or feel.
So I've been doing Shambhavi for, well, consistently, not even that long, maybe like 4 months, but more or less consistently since 1 year, 1.4 years. And my experience, well, every time very different, truth be told. but it makes me lighter, it makes me blissful, it creates a certain distance between the body, the mind, and me, and it feels like I'm just open to whatever is here. It feels like something opens up every time I do it. And as Adi said before, it feels like I consecrate myself every time. So, yeah, it's a very, very cool practice, and I don't know when I'll stop, but I'm not looking forward to stop.
For me, I haven't done it for quite a while. Personal choice, but I remember recalling my time doing it, that it is and was extremely powerful. For me, I felt like the whole outside world was just gone. Like somebody could walk up to me and just start screaming in my face, and I would just be like sitting there just like I felt like the world was just like, I could choose, I could like interact with it, or I could be here, or I could, like, it felt like there was some sort of barrier, almost like how Sadhguru discusses, like how like the outside there, it creates a barrier between the body and the mind, and between the whatever you just said. So that's kind of how I was experiencing that, how I was feeling that, and obviously it's very blissful during the practice as well. Very, very blissful, very especially peaceful, very peaceful. You feel like you are really in your own space, your own energy, and it's very, very powerful, very, very powerful. So I definitely would recommend that you get initiated or try the practice and stick with it as well.
I actually also had interesting experiences, like nearly psychedelic experiences. Like on psychedelics you have like visuals and like kind of like visions also when you have eyes closed, and I had a lot of similar experiences, like when it just starts like vibrating in some way, and also experiences where my crown opened, or when the energies just became so strong that I nearly like lost, or I let myself go, and some energies flowed through me. I don't know how to explain it really, but like when you start like just going with it. I don't know if you guys have experienced something similar, but yeah.
I think everybody experiences potent things with this meditation because it is a powerful meditation technique, and it raises your kundalini energy up the spine. It also cleans your internal system. It cleans the spinal cord energetically, in a way. So I've also had powerful experiences where, actually even before I was initiated, I sat down with Sadhguru's yoga mudra, and I was told to just focus on the front of my face as a free YouTube meditation. And I sat there for a couple of minutes, and then I felt like I connected to a spaceship above the earth of the Pleiadians, and they were just kind of hanging around. Oh, okay, we're keeping an eye on you. And it was a physical experience. It wasn't some hallucination. Maybe I was extremely hallucinating, it's possible, but maybe not. And that was a cool experience. But leaving those experiences aside, that's not what the intention of this meditation technique is for you to become calm, still, peaceful, relaxed, no tension, no agitation, to lubricate your energy system, and for you to flow through the world easily and effortlessly. That's the biggest miracle, or the biggest powerful experience you can get.
Also, another thing to mention, it puts your life on fast forward. So you go through karma or through stuff that you maybe shouldn't experience, or that you would experience like 5 years from now. It puts it more in the present time, so you go through it more faster. And also for me it has been like that, like you go through a lot of stuff. It like people may think, oh yeah, it just makes you feel good and this. It does. At the same time, it's a friggin' roller coaster. It puts you like on fast forward. So everything is more intense. Being happy is more intense, being sad is more intense. Your life is just more intense.
Would you guys ever consider doing the next steps? Like I know there's I don't remember the exact the one or the next exact one, but there's samyama. There's all these different. Would you guys consider diving into those?
I would consider it, but right now, no. That's too far outside of my reach. I'm here sitting in a nice tropical place, and I have really no intention or desire to go do those things. I'm sure they're powerful in their own right, but Shambhavi Mahamudra has given me all the things that I really need. It's a tool that I can continue to reuse. At the same time, I don't really feel like I need it. Whatever inner work that has to be done will inevitably get done as time passes. But I'm not opposed to it. So as the opportunity aligns, I will definitely jump on that opportunity.
I feel the same way. I feel like Shambhavi is enough for the moment. Maybe in the future I will do some new practices, especially maybe Hatha Yoga, because it's very good for your physical body and grounds you a lot. It's something that I could need, or that I need. But Shambhavi is good enough, and if you stay consistent, it's very potent. If you do this over a few years, every day, you're gonna have big changes. So, yeah, it's enough.
That's the end of our podcast. Like this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe.
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 Subscribe.